There because congratulations to the National.
Tennessee, that's coming your way after this message and a word from your local station.
We schedule frequent flights. We go places you want to go. We fly so you can too.
You are now free to move about the country.
CBS Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.
He's got to be the world's most dishonest TV reporter. At least he was until he got caught and went to jail. Meet him tonight on 60 Minutes.
Thanks for making CBS America's most watched network. Welcome home.
If you believe in yourself, if you have faith in your team, if you give all that you have, they'll call you a volunteer. If you do all that, every practice and every game, they'll have a different name for you.
I'm Adrian Berry, Managing Director of Aldgate Textiles here in Yorkshire, England. As England's leading weaver of fine men's suitings, we're pleased that John Daniel has made a major purchase of our top fabrics for their sale. Select from over 2,000 English suitings. Suits tailored from these fabrics sell for over $600. But now you can enjoy this luxury for only $329. John Daniel, custom tailors. Hurry for best selection.
On the next hard copy.
He is a man that is doing what he loves.
Backstage with Bob Barker on The Price is Right for some of the show's wildest moments.
I don't really feel that good, but let's go. Hurry up!
From frantic flare-ups to literally floored contestants. Come on down as we reveal Barker's bloopers. Plus, we're putting you in the middle of the action to learn the terrifying tactics of a SWAT team caught on tape on hard copy.
Monday night at 7 on Volunteer TV. Chris Bavender tomorrow morning on WVLT Volunteer News.
CBS.
Welcome home.
CBS Sports coverage of women's NCAA basketball brings you to the Mecca of all of women's college basketball stores, Connecticut, for the Women's Basketball Classic presented by Honda. Number 1 UConn against number 2 Tennessee. Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Brando, along with the Hall of Famer Nancy Lieberman-Klein, and truly every team in America will use this matchup as a barometer for where they stack up.
Well, there's clearly 2 or 3 levels of women's college basketball. Sitting at the top, UConn, Tennessee, everybody lines up behind them.
And some of the marquee players in college basketball can be found here in this starting lineup. Shamiqua Holtzclaw going after an unprecedented 4th national title in 4 years, the returning Naismith Player of the Year. Tamika Catchings, some say the heir to her throne. Michelle Snow, Jolly in the backcourt along with Randall, Samika Randall, one of the 3 Meeks. Abrosimova, Svetlana Abrosimova, the outstanding star of Connecticut, joined by Swin Cash, who's been day-to-day questionable coming in, Paige Sauer in the middle, Kirsten Walters and Amy Duran. They'll be tested today by that ever-pressing style of the Lady Volunteers. And Pat Summitt orchestrates all of that pressure.
Well, pretty much she's done it all in her 25 years, but her counterpart, Gino Auriemma, has done wonders for this program at UConn.
In his 14th season, he's a 2-time Coach of the Year. Summitt 4 times Coach of the Year in women's college basketball. Our officials for this afternoon's game, Dennis DeMeo, Sally Bell, and Art Bommingen. And the opening tip is 1 to Tennessee, and Jolly will run the show for the Lady Vol.
Well, don't be surprised to see UConn come in a very aggressive man-to-man defense.
Randall, recruited very heavily by Gino Auriemma, but opted for Tennessee. And more on the story of those two a bit later as this game progresses.
Now, you're not seeing a mirror image right now. You're seeing Tennessee in the same type of defense as UConn. Aggressive, denying the passing lanes and ball pressure.
Rosamova takes it baseline. That's the tie of the game.
See, when UConn scores, they're able to set up their 1-2-1-1 press.
Holtzclaw with a great spin move and a dish to Samika Randall. Jolly with the dump down. Catchings. This one does not fall. It's on the deck. And out of bounds, it will belong to the Lady Vols.
Abrosimova so good in the half court, but she can take you off the dribble. She's very quick and deceptive, and the body control that she has going to the basket, exceptional.
Not quite a minute deep. They were scalping tickets for better than $500 apiece for this game. Last year, you'll recall, better than 24,000 were on hand at Thompson Bowling for the 7th meeting between these two.
Well, that's the beauty of the rivalry, Timmy, is that so many fans, UConn fans, Tennessee fans, and just the casual basketball fan want to see these two play.
Now, Samika Randall has answered the challenge with the first 4 points of the game for Tennessee. Abrosimova.
Well, I'm going to be interested to see how long Pat Summitt keeps Shamiqua Holtzclaw on Svetlana Abrosimova, because she is just such a great offensive player.
Holtzclaw working on Duran. This was the idea or the concept coming in, not to double team Holtzclaw, as was the case last year by Auriemma. He's decided to play straight up so she could have a very big first half.
Well, I think playing straight up is the smart thing to do, and UConn getting it done in the half court.
Swin Cash taking the alley-oop and using the glass. We're tied at 6. There's the pressure, this time brought forth by the Huskies.
Michelle Snow, the freshman, you learn this when you're in basketball camps. Don't throw the ball in from underneath the basket. She could have ran and made that bounce pass.
Both teams shooting very well early on. Only 1 miss out of 7 launches.
Well, both teams shoot over 50% because they get layups most of the time.
Holtzclaw, a little stop and go. Is that sweet? Is that sweet? 8-6 Tennessee.
And she learned that on the schoolyards in Astoria, Queens. Kind of that pump fake, you get the defender up.
Corner by Kirsten Walters, one of the task force signed. That's what they're dubbing this freshman group as. The pressure from UConn almost leads to another Lady Vol turnover. Task force being the T for Tamika Williams. And as you see this stop and go by Holtzclaw.
Holtzclaw with the nice pull-up. See how she gets Svetlana up in the air, then she waits for her to clear and makes the shot.
Task force for Tamika Williams, with the outstanding forward from Dayton, Ohio. Swin Cash, the freshman from McKeesport, Pennsylvania. And Asia Jones from Piscataway, New Jersey. Part of that Fem 5 you talk so highly of, recruited by Gino Auriemma this year.
Well, we remember the Fab 5 at Michigan for the fellas. Now you have the Fem 5.
Holtzclaw with a putback, which Tennessee specializes in. They lead by 1.
Well, I have to tell you, both these teams pride themselves on defense. It has certainly been an offensive output.
Yeah, don't blink, because you may miss something today.
Well, UConn averaging 100 points a game. I don't know of any team in women's college history that has averaged that many points.
Walters again. Oh, the iron on time, but there's the follow. Staying with it. Jones can't connect, and it's pulled down by Jolly. Now the iron downright rude in that trip. Holtzclaw off the dribble. She has 8 of the Lady Vols 12 as they're playing her head up. She's 4 out of 4 from the floor.
Holtzclaw has come up big in every big game that Tennessee has played throughout her career. Championships, SEC tournaments. She, in my opinion, she is the best player to ever play the game collegiately.
Not there for Swin Cash. She's been nursing a stretch fracture and was probable for today's game. Samika Randall. Not there, running it down. Nice work by Tamika Catchings.
Timmy, this might be the first time that you can match talent with each other as far as athleticism for UConn. Holtzclaw, as we said, did you see how she read the defense? She gave the little dip shoulder, took the dribble back, and created space.
It's been a nice East Coast swing for Shamiqua in her senior year. She played at Madison Square Garden last week against Rutgers. Jolly is rejected. Asia Jones comes across to swat that one away.
Asia Jones, 6'2", the high school All-American from Piscataway. See, look at the rotation here defensively. That is exactly what Gino Auriemma has preached to his team in practice.
Shea Rolfe has come into the game and quickly gets a blocking foul, trying to check Holtzclaw. I remember it was Shea Rolfe that did not play last year. Shea was out with a torn anterior cruciate ligament, and she ignites this UConn team coming off the bench. She averages more minutes than anyone for Auriemma, yet as a non-starter.
Well, she's their second leading scorer, nearly 17 points a game, but Shea Rolfe is the heart and soul of this basketball team.
Holtzclaw, a little duck under move, and she is just on fire. 10 points, and we're not even 4 minutes deep here in Storrs, Connecticut.
I would think you might consider the Jordan rules against Holtzclaw. Run people at her.
Asia Jones brings UConn to within 3. Quality defensive work that time. It has been end to end. Just what you like to see when the two best go at it, as they are here today in New England.
Hello?
Hey, what'd your wife say?
No. What about your place?
No.
Hold on. Hey, what did your wife say?
No. Hold on. Hey, what'd your wife say?
No.
With 2 power outlets and a built-in picnic table, it's the ultimate survival tool.
Yeah, I'm in.
I'm in.
Yeah, man.
The 4-wheel drive CR-V from Honda.
Come on, I'll be home by 10.
Me too. Me too.
Me too.
I'm a junior VP, and all the junior VPs have one of these. So I'll just call my secretary, and then she'll... Voicemail. Chuck, number 4's down.
Gotcha. I'm a mailroom guy, and all the mailroom guys get to see the phones that the senior VPs get.
Nextel's two-way radio feature makes ordinary cell phones seem ordinary. And now, for a limited time, you can get Nextel phones starting at $99 each.
Don't worry. I won't be long.
Oh, okay.
Psst. Hey, buddy. Over here, in petites.
Whoa. Have a Bud Light. This is awesome. Yeah, we love shopping.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Some things can't be taught in a classroom or found in a textbook. But with Fixident's long-lasting hold, you'll be ready no matter where the lesson takes you. For long-lasting hold, Fixident and forget it.
Nothing tops ice cream better than Hershey's chocolate syrup. So feel free to pour it on. But do watch out for those cherries.
Now you can watch all the games of the first 3 rounds in their entirety as DirecTV supplements CBS's coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship.
Tennessee with the early lead, 14-11. Prior to the start of today's game, Gino Auriemma took time to visit with Pat Summitt. They both have tremendous respect for one another. There was a comment made by Samika Randall, who was part of a very highly recruited story last year, and she made the statement after the game last year that she felt the crowd of Tennessee had intimidated UConn and had scared them onto her bus. He wanted to make sure that even though this is a heated rivalry, they remain close friends and keep the respect that they have for one another. The Women's Basketball Classic presented by Honda. Number 1, UConn. Number 2, Tennessee. 2 outstanding programs. And early on, it has been a 94-foot game, to be sure. And Shamiqua Holtzclaw, as advertised, while single covered by UConn defensively.
Well, Tennessee just changed their defense because UConn was hurting them in the half court with their high-low motion. It's a good change coming out of the timeout by Pat Summitt.
Tim Brando, Nancy Lieberman-Klein, happy that you've joined us. Now, a quick double team. First time we've seen that. The kick out to Jolly. Count it, and a foul against Shea Rolfe. And that's 2 on Shea Rolfe, who entered the game just a few moments ago.
Well, it's kind of know your personnel. Kelly Jolly is the 3rd all-time three-point percentage leader at Tennessee. So you can't leave her alone as she hits the 3. Don't double team if you're guarding Kelly Jolly. You got to stay in her vicinity.
Kelly, a senior from Cleveland, as you see Shea Rolfe sitting down. Now this does concern, I'm sure, the new Shea Rolfe, the foul difficulty might have something to do with his rotation as Randall gets the putback. And that is a 5-point trip. 6 in the game for Samika Randall, and it's 17 to 11. Jolly, the long rebound. Holtzclaw can't hit.
Well, both coaches told me when I spoke to them the key was making sure they were able to handle each other's pressure. But I think transition defense is really what the key is. You must get back and protect the basket.
Paige Sauer. Junior from Midwest City, Oklahoma, her first bucket. It is 18-13 as Catchings is fouled, trying to get up and under Sauer.
Paige Sauer, who last year was one of the top 3-point shooters for UConn, and when I said personnel, I mean Pat's probably looking at, okay, who's guarding Paige Sauer? Do not let her shoot the face-up shot. Make her put it on the floor.
We touched briefly on the respect that these two programs have for one another, and I think the concern of Auriemma, based on Samika Randall's statements last year, we should note, he was unaware of the fact that those statements were made after the game was played and before really a raucous pep rally at Thompson Bowling Arena.
And you have a freshman who's excited. She was heavily recruited by both Tennessee and UConn, and sometimes things are taken out of context. But I love the fact that Pat Summitt, Gino Auriemma have such professional respect for each other. You said that Catchings might be the heir apparent to Holtzclaw. She broke virtually every freshman record at Tennessee last year. One of the great players from Duncanville High School in Texas.
And you see Samika Randall. Boy, is she inspired today.
She had 23 points the last time they played, 10 rebounds a year ago.
That's handling the pressure. Sauer this time does not hit, and Randall skies for the rebound with good position.
Well, that's a good change of defense by Tennessee. A little bit of trapping, but the way you beat it is get the ball to the middle and then fill your lanes.
And a reach-in foul. Abrosimova committing the foul, and you see Shamika Holtzclaw apparently ill along the sidelines, out of the game. She already is perfect from the floor with 10 points, and now apparently ill. 5 of 6. She just missed her first shot. Was taken out of the game, and now you can see she is being tended to.
Jenny Moshak, the trainer, talk about an MVP of the team. She does that for Lady Vols.
Well, another offensive rebound off a missed free throw for Tennessee. Teresa Jeter, her first shot. Paige Sauer controls for the Huskies.
Tim, as long as I can remember, in 25 years of Tennessee basketball, they have made a living off their second shots.
A rare offensive rebound for UConn, and Tamika Williams, High School Player of the Year, with the answer, and just that quickly, Tamika Catchings goes end-to-end to answer. Baseball pass, now a 2-on-1. Williams, she had Abrosimova with her. And a missed opportunity for UConn.
The players love this. This is what the game's all about. There's some structure, but it's basically your instinct on the court, getting up and down, getting on the glass. That's why so many young players want to come to these two programs. It's a lot of fun to play.
Well, Williams, a freshman, made an uncharacteristic freshman mistake with Abrosimova with her on a 2-on-1 breakaway.
That's what the press does to you. It makes you just hurry up a little bit more than you want to.
Clement, with that 30-second clock winding down that we have in women's basketball, guilty of the player control foul, committing the charge. For complete college basketball coverage with in-depth team news, the latest scores and stats, go to cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online at keyword CBS Sportsline. Asia Jones will trigger it in for UConn. Both benches emptying early. As you see, Kirsten Walters coming back in, and Amy Duran, the junior from Bethesda, Maryland, taking a seat for the Huskies.
Well, these are basically matchup situations, and plus when you play at the pace both teams do, you're going to see them go very deep to their bench.
Shea Ralph also on the floor, and we have a tie ball. Jolly was down there, along with Asia Jones. After the first 5 minutes, both teams were lights out. You can see UConn has cooled dramatically after the first television timeout.
20-second timeout, Connecticut.
Tournament heritage between these two, plenty of it. Back in '95, and you think back, the score was tied at 61. And Jennifer Rosati would go end to end after this miss to give UConn a lead that they would never surrender en route to an unbeaten national championship, their first 70-64. And there you see Rebecca Lobo, a part of that legacy. You could say this is a who's who of women's college basketball on site for today's game.
I can't believe she's not traveling with her WNBA Barbie. Rebecca Lobo not included.
Shea Ralph posting up. Too strong. Abrosimova loses it. Look who's down for the garbage. Asia Jones.
Asia Jones all over the offensive glass throughout the game.
Oh, catching so quick. That's twice she's beaten UConn down the floor with the floor balanced.
Well, Catchings is so good off the dribble. She works so hard on her mid-range game this year. She's great underneath, and she's great from three.
Pass is run down by Swin Cash. Walters. Again, a long offensive rebound to UConn. Swin Cash. One of the real critical aspects of this game was whether she could play. And right now, they're getting a much-needed adrenaline from her.
Well, Swin Cash missed 2 games. She missed the West Virginia game. She also missed the Seton Hall game. 7 minutes against Pitt and had 6 points, but she is the point person on the press for UConn.
Jolly. Rebound taken by Shea Ralph. She's the aggressor and a true verbal leader. Too strong, a bit too aggressive with the shot. A third opportunity. Wave it off. No basket.
No basket.
Let me tell you one thing that Pat Summitt will not allow. Look at that face right there. That is unacceptable to be out-rebounded. UConn is killing Tennessee on the offensive glass.
You see your Samika Randall. She'll be back in when we come back.
Where's Frank? It's been his turn for 10 minutes. He had to go call his mother. Hi, Mommy, it's Frank. I tied my bowling shoes all by myself. He must have called her with 1-800-COLLECT. Why's that? I'll tell you why, Bitterman, because 1-800-COLLECT's 10 cents a minute every evening. So he usually talks for a while. 10 cents a minute? That's cheap. Hi, Frank. How's your mommy? I don't know. I was talking to Bitterman's sister. 1-800-COLLECT. Save your mommy money.
Are you ready to make real noise? To make new friends? To take sharper pictures? Are you ready to build bridges? Learn diplomacy? Learn to swim? Are you ready to turn what you want to do into what you will do? Are you ready? Be all you can be.
Every evening, in every home, parents say goodnight in the same loving language. And when your child has a cold, he needs the added touch of Vicks Vapor Rub. The warmth of your touch releases the medicated vapors that quickly relieve congestion and calm coughing, so you can cradle him in love and comfort all night. Sweet dreams. Nothing feels better than a Vapor Rub touch.
Chocolate milk? This isn't ordinary chocolate milk. It's rich chocolate Ovaltine. Compare the labels. It's got vitamins. Nestle Quick has none. When it comes to nutrition, Ovaltine beats Quick, hands down. For us, it's rich chocolate Ovaltine.
More Ovaltine, please.
Need fast itch relief? Did you know there's a cream that brings fast itch relief to irritating winter itch? A cream with 2 proven medicated itch fighters. From a leader in itch relief for nearly 100 years. It's Gold Bond. Maximum strength Gold Bond medicated cream. Fast itch relief. This CBS Sports Women's Basketball Classic is presented by American Honda. A winning lineup of cars, sport utility vehicles, and minivans.
Along with Nancy Lieberman-Klein, Tim Brando, you see the NCAA championship banner, one of many. Of course, Al Brown has been a part of NCAA Final Fours, the assistant at Tennessee, on both the men's and women's side, the Silver Fox.
Well, nobody else can stake claim to that, but he was telling me that Philip Fulmer, the coach of the Tennessee Vols football team, called him Saturday when they were in New York playing Rutgers and said, hey, can you fly out to Tempe and give our team the pregame speech? How about that for a connection?
Indeed.
They want winners, so he got out there 11 o'clock. He gave the Vols the speech, went through all the film sessions, the meetings with the football team, but he told them about Martin Luther King's dream and how it changed the world and how Tennessee winning would change the players' lives. It obviously worked.
A turnover by Tennessee, a rare double dribble committed by Snow. There you see Al. These are proud times for both Tennessee and UConn's athletic programs, both the men and the women, #1 in both polls. In women's basketball and men's basketball, a national title for the men in football, obviously, and Tennessee has 3 consecutive in women's basketball. So great times indeed, the decade of the 90s for both schools. There's the dump down. Tamika Williams rejected this time by Snow. She is 7 feet 10 inches tall when she spreads her wingspan out at 6'5", the freshman from Pensacola, Florida.
Many people have said that she reminds them of a very young Lisa Leslie with the way she's built, and Pat Summitt said her offensive skills and her hands are great.
Abrosimova has numbers. Gave it up a bit too late that time, looking for a swing cash, cutting to the basket. Shamiqua Holtzclaw, who we reported earlier was ill along the sidelines, apparently was coughing up, and you see she's coughing now. She has a cold. She experienced it overnight late last night. We interviewed her earlier. There were no signs of that, but apparently coughing up some phlegm. She's not sick at her stomach. That's good news, I suppose, for Tennessee fans. Not quite. In fact, halfway through this opening half, and the Lady Vols with a 3-point lead. On the deck, finally retrieved by Asia Jones. Good pass to Abrosimova, leading to the foul. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS presents the AFC Championship. Well, you can punch them in. Jim Nance and company will be on hand with the NFL today at 3:30 Eastern Time. Then at 4, the AFC Championship game, the New York Jets against the Denver Broncos. Next Sunday, 4 Eastern, right here on CBS.
And Shamiqua Holtzclaw, who I'm sure from New York, I mean, she's got to be pulling for the Jets. She probably wasn't born when I was watching the Super Bowl game against the Colts. But Holtzclaw is coming back into the game, and Amy Duran coming into the game as well.
All eyes on Holtzclaw to see how productive she'll be. Obviously, after such a great start, she hit her first 4 baskets. Currently 5 of 6 from the floor, leading Tennessee in scoring with 10 points, but she's been out for better than 5 minutes. Here comes the pressure and a quick foul given up by Kirsten Walters of UConn.
And that's probably not the foul that Gino Auriemma wants. Either you're hustling for an offensive rebound or you're trying to make a trap, not just kind of a silly little push in the backcourt.
Largest lead in this game was 7 and 18 to 11 for Tennessee.
Tennessee running their triangle offense, the one that Pat Summitt spent quite a bit of time with Phil Jackson discussing just exactly how to utilize Holtzclaw. Look at the triangle offense. Watch, Kelly Jolly is going to cut here to the corner. That's going to take the defense with her. Now Holtzclaw could use the high screen right there, or she can go one-on-one, and chances are she can split that to the basket as she just did.
Randall going with a sweeping hook, and we have a tie ball between she and Abrosimova. A little extracurricular activity as they hit the deck, and Svetlana was kicked in the back of her head. And it was Randall, who's obviously charged up, that was in the middle of it. You see Shamiqua Holtzclaw coming over to make sure that order is restored.
Hey, they're competitors. They will go back and shake each other's hands as they're doing right now. But it's a very physical game. People don't think UConn is as physical as they are. Right here, two top players just doing what they do best, going full out.
Samika Randall's foot did hit the back of Svetlana's head, but that was just a part of the tussle. No malice intended, just a very aggressive play.
Well, probably what they should do is after the game, the coaching staff should suit up because we've got great players on each team.
Holtzclaw barely drew iron from beyond the arc. She's only 1 of 9 this year from beyond the three-point arc. Abrosimova misses from almost point-blank range. That is her spot on the floor, has a quality in between game. Randall booed immediately, uses the glass to put it down, and she's been very active. Second in scoring for the Lady Vols with 8.
Well, she's gone 7 games in a row where she's been in double figures. I love the maturity of Samika Randall from her freshman year to her second year. Decision-making, quality of shots.
Oh, Ace Clement with a hip pocket and the deuce. Kristen Ace Clement, sophomore from Broomall, Pennsylvania. With 8:41 remaining, it's 26-21 Lady Vols.
Samika Randall, the energy of the Lady Vol team on offense and defense. They say it all the time. Catchings and Randall every day play so hard. The beautiful play. See, her head is up. That's why she can see where the defense is coming from and split it. And she's so pumped up. I know her friends all the way back at Trinity High School are pulling for her. And then the great anticipation by Kristen Clement, all-time leading scorer at Cardinal O'Hara. She only broke the Philly scoring record held by a guy that... did you ever play against Will Chamberlain?
No, but... no, I'm old enough to have perhaps played against him, but no, I did not. I tell you, that's something. I don't care at what level. To outscore Wilt in Philadelphia, that's an amazing thing.
Solid zone trapping defense right now, the 1-2-1-1 by Tennessee.
No 10-second call, obviously, in women's college basketball. Abrosimova misses a chippy, and Randall brings it down. Since the skirmish, it's been Tennessee that's heated up.
Smart play by Tennessee. Pull it back out if you don't have the numbers. Run your half-court offense.
Clement with a tough pass, and Holtzclaw able to corral it. This time, while trying to split the double team, she turned it over. She's not the same. Since she left the game with the flu and was coughing up some phlegm, she's not been the same player.
Well, she's weak, and we're playing at an incredible pace right now.
Paige Sauer brings UConn to within 3. She has 4 points.
Let me tell you something right now. Stacey Hansmeyer of UConn is one of the most physical players in the country, and she just knocked the tar out of Randall, and I guarantee you that was a message to her. And I like to see teammates stick up for each other.
Clement using that pick of Snows. Michelle, or Shell is her nickname, retrieves it. Here's Jolly. Nice shot just inside the arc for Kelly Jolly.
Well, we talk about Shea Ralph coming back from 2 ACLs and the dedication it takes. Well, the same thing for Kelly Jolly. She's come back from 2 ACLs and playing the best basketball of her career at Tennessee.
Paige Sauer throwing up an air ball. She's more of a face-up center. They wanted to get her involved early on.
Abrosimova looking on the inside. Paige Sauer using all of 6'5" to get the shot.
Tyrell Lohr is the 16-year-old computer whiz of Lusk, Wyoming.
It's a nice town. It's just the right size. People are friendly.
He's mastered the ways of most Microsoft programs.
He really helps people a lot. That's what he's known for.
Tyrell will be the first person you would go to to get help with computers.
Tyrell is kind of a hero here in his own little way.
I don't know where my reputation's come from exactly, but I try to help as much as I can.
Jiffy Lube Signature Service. Our name is on the line. And we offer Pennzoil.
If you love the complete relief of NyQuil to get you through your nights, you'll love its non-drowsy daytime version called DayQuil to get you through your days. Vicks DayQuil, the non-drowsy stuffy head, sore throat, coughing, fever, so you can get through your day medicine.
Head & Shoulders makes me worry less. I used to kind of be self-conscious about playing with my hair because if I was wearing black, then I would end up with flakes on my shoulders. Black's my favorite color to wear, so it could be a beauty secret. Head & Shoulders changes dandruff problems into beautiful hair.
Going for a run.
Better take a jacket, it might snow.
Good idea.
What the? Hey, put that down.
Oh.
Whoa. You look at our game summary, the points in the paint, UConn getting a number of second chance opportunities, holding their own, and the physical nature of this game, particularly since the battle between Samika Randall and Abrosimova, very obvious, the lingering aspects of that.
Right here. You think you saw hits in the Jets game against Jacksonville? That was one heck of a hit. Phil Parcells will be calling Stacey Hansmeier to see if she would like to play the rest of the season. She is one of the most physical players on this team. Just ask Swin Cash, ask Tamika Williams, Asia Jones. They had to go against her in preseason.
She started 21 games last year, but with all the outstanding freshmen coming in, she's having to play that role, the physical role coming off the bench. By the way, we're told Samika Randall also experiencing flu symptoms during that timeout. Clement taking it to the rack. And a turnover. Took the extra step. Fifth turnover committed by the Lady Vols. 13 minutes deep, opening half. Tim Brando, Nancy Lieberman-Klein. Women's College Basketball Classic from Storrs, Connecticut. Number 1 against number 2.
Little change right now, a 2-3 zone. Although Paige Sauer is so big and strong that when she gets that drop step on you, she's just a fine shooter with good touch.
Now we've seen the versatility in her game, both posting up and facing up.
See, they're going to run. UConn is smart right now. On the pick and roll, they're going to try and trap Samika Holtzclaw.
3-second violation against Samika Randall as they quickly triple-teamed her off that entry pass.
Well, that's a smart play. That's what I'm talking about, the Jordan rules, as Catchings is getting ready to come back into the game.
And there's the pressure attacking UConn's backcourt. That's what Pat Summitt planned, and it worked in that sequence. Jolly gets the easy basket off the turnover. Clement getting it after the steal by Jolly.
I think Tennessee is basically playing the percentages, thinking that Kirsten Walters is probably going to make some good plays, but she's probably going to make some mistakes.
Hansmeier can't buy the bucket. Halfway down the cylinder, it popped out. Holtzclaw missed her last 3 shots. Make that 4 since she left the game. It's experiencing the difficulty. And yet another tie ball situation with the arrow to UConn. Well, we touched on the Fem-5, the 3 Meeks.
Well, they changed the course of women's basketball, especially from a freshman level, because they came in and they dominated. And you see, with Holtzclaw leading the way, see, I think it's great for Tamika Catchings that she has Holtzclaw because she can learn from such a great player. And when she takes over with Randall in a year from now, they're going to be seasoned juniors.
Out of bounds, last touch by UConn. So far, Samika Randall has been outstanding. But between her and the help of the other Meeks, 22 points, 22 of the Vols' 30. And Teresa Jeter, Samika Randall, there's a lot of people playing with pain at this stage.
I'll tell you right now, for anybody that says, I know Pat and Gino will say, well, you know, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter who wins and loses. That's nonsense, because they are such competitors, and it filters down throughout their team. And the bench coaches on UConn are Chris Daly, 14th year. Tanya Cardoza, she played at Virginia. She went to a Final Four. Rita Williams, she plays for Washington. Jamel Elliott was part of one of the great teams. Right there, one of the great recruiters in basketball, Chris Daly. Then you look at Tennessee's bench, and it's like who's who of coaching. Holly Warlick was an All-American. Mickey DeMoss. They give her the credit for bringing in all the great recruits, and we already talked about what Al Brown has meant to the team.
Nice work inside for Hansmeyer in the right spot. 30-27. Tennessee's largest lead was 7. UConn now has carved into it, trailing by 3. Catchings loses it to Abrosimova.
The trapping defense by UConn right now is really bothering Tennessee in their half-court offense.
Trying to get the ball inside to Tamika Williams. They turn it over.
Got to keep your dribble alive anytime somebody is trapping you and your head up.
Kristen Ace Clement operating in the backcourt along with Jolly. A ball fake by Catchings, but Tamika Williams would have none of it. A little bumping and grinding between the two. Finally, the foul committed by Tamika Williams. Two top teams in America in women's college basketball on display. 8th ever meeting between the two. 4 national titles in the past 4 years. And one of those 3 for Tennessee was earned in the national semifinal, losing in overtime in 1996 to the then defending NCAA champion UConn Huskies. So it's hard to believe they've only played 8 times counting today. It sounds as if this rivalry would have lasted over a couple of decades.
Well, I think that's what people think, but they've been such high-profile games, and 3 or 4 of the games have been here on CBS, and they've always been maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, so you've had everything hanging in the balance for both teams.
Swin Cash ends the break with a bucket. She has 6 in the game. Clement uses the back iron and gets the roll. Kristen Clement, 34-29. Lady Vols got out to a quick start, led by as many as 7, but then Shamiqua Holtzclaw fell ill and had to leave the game for 5 minutes. At that point, UConn made a move. And another move by Swin Cash. Boy, she is a quick splasher to the basket.
Well, she was smart in the back of the 2-3 zone. If you don't see both ball and player, you're going to lose somebody.
Clement's shot won't go.
We've hardly mentioned Sue Bird, who tore her ACL December 14th from Christ the King High School. She was the one that Gino was looking towards to really rev up the offense for the Huskies, but Kirsten Walters doing a fantastic job.
Shalon Pillow in the game for the first time. Another one of the fine freshmen brought in this year by Pat Summitt. Shalon, a center from Madison, Ohio, Taylor High School.
She brought in 2 top players. They were both post players. Shalon Pillow, Michelle Snow, and then the 2 walk-ons.
Walters fires up an air ball taken down by Holtzclaw. Boy, she has been a shadow of herself. That's her first basket since she left the game 4 minutes deep while falling ill along the sidelines. And this gives Tennessee, it equals their largest lead of 7, 38-31.
Did you hear Holtzclaw? She says, in your face, Timmy B. Don't say that I'm not a factor. Right there. Beautiful pull-up by Holtzclaw.
Pat Summitt in her 25th year wearing a microphone today. Let's eavesdrop.
They know where they are. Don't play up on those posts and guards still. 13 traps. Right here now. Defense. 1, 2, 3. Defense.
I got a copy of my book, Raise the Roof. We were 39-0 last year. Read it, and read it quick.
I asked her last night about her coaching counterpart, Gino Auriemma. I said, while coaching against him, I know about emotion and preparing a team to play, but when you're coaching against him, what concerns you? She said his management of the game. After every time out, a set play generally gets an open shot, and as a coaching counterpart, that's the highest compliment that can be paid.
Well, it was nice that they've competed against each other for so long, and then against the Olympic team.
Oh, Hansmeyer with a flying Walinda into the lane to make it 38-33.
Well, they've had a chance to coach together as the Collegiate All-Stars played the U.S. Olympic team back in '96.
Abrosimova knocks it away from Jeter, but it's saved by Samika Randall. She turned it over.
There is a timeout on the floor.
2:19 remaining. The Lady Vols lead it by 5. Oh, a whirling dervish by Hansmeyer.
Excuse me, I just need to get my bag. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
It's more than a car. It's a state of mind. The Accord from Honda.
My son wouldn't drink his milk, so I worried about his nutrition. But then I tried Ovaltine, and now he loves his milk. Ovaltine tastes great and adds vitamins. Nestle Quick adds none. So milk not only tastes better, it's better for you.
Ovaltine makes milk even better. Need fast itch relief? Did you know there's a cream that brings fast itch relief to irritating winter itch? A cream with 2 proven medicated itch fighters. From a leader in itch relief for nearly 100 years. It's Gold Bond, maximum strength Gold Bond medicated cream. Fast itch relief.
Identity. You ask me who I am. Identity. But who am I really? Identity. Does anyone know who they really are? Identity. Identity.
Yeah, identity, Miss Evangelista. If you want to write a check, I need to see some proof of your identity. Driver's license,
Considered the Visa
passport,
check card? It automatically deducts from your checking account at the millions of places Visa's accepted.
I don't have identity.
Next.
The Visa check card works like a check, only better.
Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of smokers have quit with Nicoderm CQ. Why? Because it helps calm your cravings with 3 steps to help bring you closer to your goal. And with Nicoderm CQ, you don't have to take some new drug or wait to get a prescription from the doctor. After all, you want to quit smoking, not make an appointment to quit smoking. Nicoderm CQ, the power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
Coming up on Pennzoil at the half, Jim Nance will have all the scores and highlights coming up on Pennzoil at the half. Very busy day for him with the NFL today. And now some women's college basketball, the best of. There are some outstanding teams out there. You're looking at Samika Randall. She not only fell ill a bit earlier, as did Holtzclaw, but during that skirmish, apparently some blood on the elbow, forcing her to go to an alternate jersey, normally wearing number 21. She's now wearing the alternate blood jersey number 20. Without her name on the back.
And Tennessee, as they've done before, they keep changing their defenses, coming out of a timeout, that time a 2-2-1, 3/4 court trap. They're trying to show Walters different looks, make the freshman have to think and slow her up.
Tamika Williams. The face-up, post-up ability, it's characterized there. Asia Jones making that one go, 38-35, Asia's second basket of the day. Out of bounds off of catching. 9th turnover committed by Tennessee. Boy, between Asia Jones and Tamika Williams, I see a face-up, post-up capability that you don't see in most centers in women's college basketball.
Well, that's what we've been talking about, and you're absolutely right. They're sort of a mirror image at Tennessee where Holtzclaw can post you and Catchings can post you, but they can also take you off the dribble. They have so much versatility, not only in their full-court game, but in their half-court game. Remember, Williams is the National High School Player of the Year. The year before, it was a young lady by the name of Tamika Catchings.
That one was knocked away from Tamika Williams. And a foul ensued. It'll go against Catchings. As you look at the fresh talent, that task force that we touched on.
They're really unbelievable, and I know you see they get 35% of the team's points, and then add in Walters with the great job she's done. I know the folks at Heritage High School are missing her back in Colorado, but this is the team of the future. I can't imagine what they're going to look like in 2001.
Yeah. Tamika Catchings, by the way, picked up her second. Asia Jones puts it on the floor. Good ball fake, and she draws the contact again from Catchings, and that's her third. So now, the early foul difficulty to Shea Ralph. She got 2 quick fouls coming in off the bench, which affected the rotation for Gino Oriema. Now the same holds true for Pat Summitt, with Catchings getting a third with 1:13 to play in the first half.
Well, they're fortunate because both teams are so deep, and they can take players like Shea Ralph or Tamika Catchings out and put a Jeter in or put somebody in to fill the gap. That's the beauty of having so many interchangeable parts.
Asia Jones checking back into Tennessee, number 4. Played in all 13 games. Clearly one of the top forwards last year. As Catchings sits down, Jeter checking back in for her. Jones with 6 points and 7 boards, 4 of them offensive today.
Well, she averages 10 points on the year, and she makes her living getting offensive rebounds.
That old story, teams that press don't like being pressed.
That's why it's got to be fun, because you know both teams have probably practiced this every day against each other.
Snow couldn't convert. Holtzclaw, who made the pass, converts with the putback. She has 14.
Shamika Holtzclaw, one of the quickest jumpers I've seen any female, because you think you're up there and boom, she just goes above you and gets the ball.
This is one of those games where at game's end you look at the box score and you say, oh, Shamika was healthy. There's a turnover. Extra step taken. Fans responding to a little contact.
Well, Holtzclaw this time makes the pass, and look at her sneak in on the inside. If you don't box her out, she's only the all-time leading scorer and rebounder at Tennessee, and that is an incredible feat.
Jolly quickly double team, gives it up to Samika Randall. Every time Samika touches it, a course of boos gets underway from the partisan faithful.
Well, this game matters to both people. You know why? UConn broke Tennessee's, you just called that butter.
Oh, that was smooth, wasn't it? Yeah, their home winning streak ended because of UConn. And, of course, they're trying to return the favor today. 54 consecutive home victories for the UConn Huskies, and Tennessee's challenging that today.
Well, it was 69 2 years ago. That was broken in, I believe it was January 6th of 96. So everybody on the floor has a little bit of incentive. Oh, I want to prove I'm the best freshman. I want to prove I'm the star. I want to show you that I'm the rising star if I'm Abrasamova. If you're Holtzclaw, you want to say, hey, you know, I'm the best of all time. And she wants that 4th championship so bad. Her and Kelly Jolly.
Again, Randall being booed as she brings it up end to end and throws up a brick to close out the half. But entertaining. UConn averaging over 100 per game. Tennessee 90. That's the end of the half. 42-36 Tennessee. Jim Nantz will be along with Pennzoil at the half right after this message.
Hello?
Hey, what'd your wife say?
No. What about your place?
No.
Hold on. Hey, what did your wife say?
No. Hold on. Hey, what'd your wife say?
No.
With 2 power outlets and a built-in picnic table, it's the ultimate survival tool.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in.
The 4-wheel drive CR-V from Honda.
Come on, I gotta be home by 10.
Me too.
Me too.
Uh-oh. I'm a junior VP, and all the junior VPs have one of these. So I'll just call my secretary, and then she'll... Voicemail. Chuck, number 4 is down.
Gotcha.
I'm a mailroom guy, and all the mailroom guys get to see the phones that the senior VPs get.
Nextel's two-way radio feature makes ordinary cell phones seem ordinary. And now, for a limited time, you can get Nextel phones starting at $99 each.
Don't worry. I won't be long.
Oh, okay.
Hey, buddy. Over here, in petites.
Whoa. Have a Bud Light. This is awesome. Yeah, we love shopping.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Some things can't be taught in a classroom or found in a textbook. But with Fixodent's long-lasting hold, you'll be ready no matter where the lesson takes you. For long-lasting hold, Fixodent and forget it.
Nothing tops ice cream better than Hershey's chocolate syrup. So feel free to pour it on. But do watch out for those cherries.
Coming up on Pennzoil at the half, all the basketball scores, plus a look at the NFL playoffs. All of that and more after this message and a word from your local station.
Sweating like crazy.
You got TV cameras all over you.
The last thing you want is this white clumpy thing running down your arm.
It's just rude.
We asked some of the hottest pros under the sun to switch antiperspirants.
Green visible solid? What's that? I would assume it goes on clear, but I'm not sure I believe that.
When your body heats up, Degree Invisible Solid releases extra protection with a clear difference.
Right there. You see there's no white stuff? The harder I work, the harder it works. No flaking, no funk, no Klingons.
Degree Invisible Solid. Works hard but never shows.
After the match, a ton of girls. Gotta be cool.
CBS Sportsline's got you covered. For the breaking news, scores, and stats, fire up the best sports coverage on the net. CBS.Sportsline.com.
The address is CBS. Welcome home!
Simply the best fish and seafood. Chesapeake's, we've got it. Maryland crab cakes, seafood platters, delicious Alaskan salmon and shrimp. Feast on large live Maine lobsters, king crab legs, and typical of a chef's special, iron pot bouillabaisse. Reminiscent of a Chesapeake Bay seafood house, we offer hand-selected fresh fish in season. Swordfish, red snapper, grouper, yellowfin tuna, and more. Chesapeake's, Henley Street, downtown Knoxville, for the best in seafood.
It's the elephants patting themselves on the back.
The tigers who live to extremes.
It's the turn, the twist, it's not to be missed. The clown in every kid's dream.
Shadow be complete.
Without a ringside seat to the greatest show on earth.
Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey, still the greatest show on earth.
Coming to the Knoxville Coliseum, February 3rd through the 7th. Tickets now on sale.
One moment.
Based on your EKG, it looks like you might be having a heart attack. What we'd like to do is take you to the heart cath lab.
One moment
There we will
can change everything.
to open up the blood
And the
vessel
moment you
that's
need
causing
cardiac care,
the damage.
you have a choice. Insist on Baptist.
The cardiologist is on his way to talk to you briefly before they take you to the cath lab.
The one Knoxville hospital in the nation's top 100. Baptist, the one word in healthcare. You're watching Volunteer TV, in touch with East Tennessee.
Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Hi, everybody. Jim Nance, Pennzoil at the half. Welcome to the CBS Broadcast Center. And that home streak at Gamble Pavilion for the UConn Huskies in danger. They've won 54 in a row at home, but they're down 6 right now at the intermission. And, in fact, let's go back to Storrs, Connecticut, and to the Lady Vols locker room, where Pat Summitt, who's won 6 national championships, is addressing her team with that 6-point lead.
Hustle and attitude in the second half. You understand that? Offensive boards, and then make sure we do a better job in our press break. What have I been telling you? When they score, rather than leave, turn in your designated spots instead of going running down here and coming back. When I'm coming out of the paint, Shamika's coming right there. Shamika's going right there. Got that? All right. Kelly's right here, and then depending on who comes in, we can throw it to you early. And then we don't have a post player like Catchings did that one time, just outrun them. They got 5 people They got 5 people playing up in this area. So what you got to do is get a shorter passing lane. So you hit the first open player. You don't even worry about going long. Let the short receiver make the long pass. So can we handle those two things? Can we get an attitude and let's let everybody handle the ball and then get to the paint. Have you all gotten to the paint? Yeah. You got to keep that mentality second half. Don't get caught in your jump shooting mode. Just keep that attitude. And they are looking to take charges on you, so be aggressive, but then you can pull it up right there at the glass. Okay, now let's talk a little bit here about our defense. We want to limit touches on who? 25. Okay. Doing a great job. 25, 33. And then when they get it, do not foul. You're doing a good job. We want to maintain.
All right, Pat Summit, thanks for letting us in the locker room there in her 25th year. What an incredible coach. All right, so while the top 2 teams battle there, let's check in on 3 and 4. Number 3 has won in overtime. The Boilermakers of Purdue now 9 straight wins. It was Iowa's 4th game in the last 8 days. It's a young team with 8 freshmen and 2 sophomores, but they fall after a gritty battle today. And number 4, Georgia, also a winner, and 14-0 for the first time in school history. Meanwhile, number 6, North Carolina, all over Maryland, and that's as expected. 2-11 on the season, it appears. Maryland is headed toward with that game today. Rice and Colorado State, and the Rams 18-point winners there, improving to 17-1. Only California beat them back in December. Becky Hammond finds for Heather Hainan. Hainan had 11 points in the first half. Later, Hainan returns the favor. Here's Hammond up ahead. She led the way, a game-high 22 there for the Rams. The Rams kept the pressure on in the second half. They had that 18-point lead at the intermission. There's Hammond drawing the foul, 3-point play, and Colorado State advances to a 17-1 season. Meanwhile, Providence and Notre Dame and the Fighting Irish now see Ruth Riley, 15 a game average with a career high today, 36 points. Out west, UCLA has toppled the Oregon Ducks, and that ends Oregon's win streak at 7. All right, Honda has, of course, been a proud supporter of female collegiate athletes throughout the years, and the Honda Awards program culminates this June with the presentation of the Honda Broderick Cup to the top female athlete in the nation. A reminder that America Online users can get complete college basketball coverage clicking on to America Online channel marked Sports, and then on CBS Sports Line, or just enter the keyword CBS Sports Line. Turning now to men's basketball. In the ACC, Duke's won 30 in a row at Cameron, and they're up 14 on the Cavs. The Cavs in last place right now in the ACC. Maryland just manhandles North Carolina State today. In fact, that's the largest margin of victory for the Terrapins in ACC history. Stevie Francis did not miss a shot from the floor today. Wisconsin had a big win earlier in the week against a ranked team, Michigan State, number 12. Can they do it today against number 9, Purdue? They're up 6 at halftime. All right, in football, Minnesota with a touchdown pass from Cunningham to Andrew Glover, up 14-0 early second quarter. And by the way, Plummer has not completed a pass. He's 0 for 4. It's been picked off twice. And in the first quarter, the Vikings kept the football 14 minutes, 6 seconds versus only 54 seconds for the Cardinals. Completely one-sided. Meanwhile, the Jets are in the AFC Championship game. They'll face Denver at Mile High next Sunday on CBS. And number 19, he seemed to be everywhere today because check it out. Here's the first score of the game. Testaverde to Keyshawn Johnson. Johnson would score with a touchdown catch and on an end around on a touchdown run. Believe it or not, after the Jets pumped up the football, he would later see that football squirt loose and recover a fumble. And then to end the game and to complete this statistical anomaly, watch Johnson pick it off on the game's final play. So a touchdown catch, touchdown run, fumble recovery, and interception. And Johnson leads the Jets into the AFC Championship game. All right, second half is coming up. We're going to send it back to Tim and Nancy. Thanks for watching Pennzoil at the Half. So long for now.
Pennzoil at the Half has been sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
All across America, you're there to see us through. Just around the corner, a neighborhood Jiffy Lube.
You depend on your car, so trust it to Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube makes it easy. Every 3,000 miles.
3,000 miles, you make us smile. America's Jiffy Lube.
Drive in, drive out, drive on.
Same day, 2 coughs, your choice. Robitussin DM or Vicks 44. Both the same, right? How about 4 hours later and later than that? Time will tell you Vicks 44 is different. With Robitussin DM, you should redose every 4 hours, while soothing Vicks 44 lasts up to 4 hours more. And with your 8-hour day, that's a real plus. Get up to 4 hours more with Vicks 44.
Nothing tops ice cream better than Hershey's chocolate syrup. So feel free to pour it on. But do watch out for those cherries.
Quit hogging the nuts.
I'm not.
R2.
Nuts.
Animal.
It's a beaver.
Give him a cashew.
No, beavers don't like nuts.
Everyone loves Planters nuts. Fresh roasted taste, and they're cholesterol free. Oh, he's good.
He's very good.
Planters, relax. Go nuts.
CBS Sports coverage of NCAA women's basketball. The Women's Basketball Classic will continue after this message and a word from your local stations.
We've been married 23 years, and we have 5 kids. Jason is training to be a firefighter. When he comes home, he takes his fire clothes and throws them on the couch. The smoky smell was so intense, I'm thinking the alarm's going to go off. So I went and got my Febreze. I sprayed the couch and the carpet. It took the smoke smell out. Then there's a wool uniform Becca wears in the band. It's hot, and they sweat. Febreze takes the smell away. And it just makes me feel so much more relaxed.
And when she's relaxed, everybody else is relaxed.
Febreze cleans bad smells out of fabrics for good.
Hey, Max here. Oh, look, regular retail prices. Of course, Office Max suggests that they be cut drastically. Looking good. Office Max, we go to the max for you.
Quit hogging the nuts.
I'm not.
R2.
Nuts.
Animal.
It's a beaver.
Give him a cashew.
No, beavers don't like nuts.
Everyone loves Planters nuts. Fresh roasted taste, and they're cholesterol free. Oh, he's good.
He's very good.
Planters, relax. Go nuts.
Is the King of Queens wife hot for the groom?
Maybe we'll work out a little signal. This is no, and this is yes.
An all-new King of Queens, CBS Monday.
The address is CBS.
Welcome home.
Begin 1999 with the best investment for your success at American Clothing. And now's the time. Buy one stylish business suit at the regular low price and get a second suit absolutely free. These fine suits are $225 to $450. And you'll find famous names like Ole Cassini, Bill Blass, Harvey Bernard, Nino Cerruti, and Alan St. George. Over 3,000 suits to choose from in the new expanded Superstore for men. Buy one suit, get another suit free. Now at American Clothing, across from West Town Mall. It's where dressing for success begins.
Bergen had the exact car we wanted.
On the lot. Color, features, everything.
You'll find 400 cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs at Bergen Dodge, and they're discounted thousands. Save $2,800 on a new Caravan, only $15,800. New Dodge Dakotas, only $14,388. New Intrepids, fully equipped, $269 a month. And Neons, $174 a month with $588 down.
We got the price we wanted on our Durango.
The price we said we were going to get when we went to Bergen.
Yeah, Bergen's the place to go.
Congratulations, national champions, from your all-ball station.
I'm at Gamble Pavilion here in Storrs, Connecticut. The #1 Huskies Right now trailing the number 2 Tennessee Lady Vols, Tim Brando, along with the Hall of Famer Nancy Lieberman-Klein. You know, coming into this game, attacking Connecticut's guards, that's what Pat Summitt wanted to do. Well, job not well done in the sense that they haven't turned it over that often, but they've held the Connecticut guards to 3 of 17 shooting.
Well, I think that's one of the biggest keys right now, is that you don't have to necessarily force them into a turnover. You just have to get them out of the rhythm of their offense.
You look at the numbers for the first half, both teams struggling from beyond the arc. The rebounding story is worth noting.
Right here, 13. That means 13 offensive rebounds for the Huskies. Doing a great job. Second chance points means they're getting higher percentages. This could be a big Tennessee lead without those rebounds.
Samika Randall moved quickly with the ball, number 20. She had some blood on her normal jersey, number 21, so she's now wearing 20. Teresa Jeter starts the second half. Kelly Jolly with the first launch of the half. And the long rebound control to Holtzclaw, and a quick reach-in foul is spotted.
Well, we'll see how Tennessee gets through this, especially with Holtzclaw, because I guess it's been confirmed that Tamika and Shamika were pretty sick at halftime in the locker room as they were on the bench.
Amy Duran picked up that foul. Jeter puts it on the deck, gives it up to Jolly. Like a mash unit, that Tennessee team, after the first 5 minutes. Holtzclaw with the flu bug, but also hot from the floor. She is, at one point, she was 5 of 6 from the floor. She now has 18 in the game.
Well, the 36 points at the half, that's the lowest UConn has scored this year. They had 39 against Rhode Island.
We're told that it was simply a head cold. By the way, part of the family, the key part of the family for the Tennessee basketball team is Grandmama June. She's here to watch the game today. You see Amy Duran taking a seat. Nice pass. Right to Paige Sauer.
Well, let's give the screener some credit. That play, pick-the-picker, doesn't work unless you set a tremendous screen.
Jeter pulls up, and it's pulled down by Swin Cash. Coming off that stress fracture, she's been playing well. Abrosimova, that's what I love about her game. 18 years old, and she just turned 18. The time she spent playing internationally in St. Petersburg, Russia, obviously a catalyst. And another turnover as Kirsten Walters ties up Kelly Jolly.
Abrosimova, I guarantee you in the locker room, Gino Auriemma said, you have got to be involved in the offense. You played 20 minutes, you only took 7 shots. Start looking for your shot.
Last year's Big East Rookie of the Year being heard from. You see the shooting percentage is low, but the opportunities have been plenty for UConn. That one, another missed opportunity. Randall turns it over, going into press row. Lisa Leslie there, a Hall of Famer.
And Lisa Leslie
there to catch her.
She tried to block her shot. She didn't try to catch her. Lisa Leslie and Dawn Staley, 2 of the greats in the WNBA. That's right. See right here.
There's a look at your future, Lisa.
Well, Randall is such a competitor, but right now, Tennessee is not getting back in transition.
Swin Cash making them pay. She has 10. Jeter finding Samika Randall.
It's a good look that time because you only have Paige Sauer back. So if Paige goes and misses, which she did, you get a layup.
Shea Ralph is fouled. It'll go against Teresa Jeter.
Tennessee doing a good job of not worrying about the early run. See, you got to get the ball in the middle of the floor. Now, when Snow makes this pass here, look at who's back against Randall, and that's Holtzclaw on the weak side. You can't anticipate this if you're Paige Sauer. You're the last line of defense. You're the free safety. You got to make them come 2-on-1, not give them the clean layup.
Shea Ralph has waited a long time for this game. She came off the bench and scored 12 in the game her freshman year. They really got this rivalry heated up. And as I mentioned earlier, 2 tears of her right anterior cruciate ligament. Those are her first points of the game. That could fuel the UConn fire here in the second half.
Well, Shea Ralph does not know about losing. She's never lost in a UConn uniform because she's 44-0.
Jeter leans comes in traffic, and another tie ball. Boy, the Swin Cash is quick to the basketball.
She's swing quick. That's quicker than most people. Swin Cash was the #3 recruit by Blue Star. She had 30 points, 17 rebounds in high school last year.
Pat Summitt wants a 20-second timeout. And the place is rocking at Gamble. Next Sunday at 1:30 Eastern, Olympic medalists including Victor Petrenko, Rosalind Sumners, Nancy Kerrigan, and Brian Orser show off at the Alberto Calvary Battle of the Sexes. Right here on CBS. Look forward to that fire on ice, the Alberto Culver VO5 Battle of the Sexes, 1:30 next Sunday. There's a rejection inside, and quickly a foul spotted underneath.
Great job by Holtzclaw. That's what Snow, Catchings, and Holtzclaw do so often. They change your shot or they block it. You get by one person and boom. And the nice thing that I like is that Holtzclaw was able to keep the ball in play for Tennessee to have possession.
Paige Sauer picked up that foul, her second. See Shamika Holtzclaw. Oh, I asked her last night of all of the memories, a three-time Kodak All-America, a career full of memories, what would be her greatest memory? And she said that first title. Double-digit losses that season. People forget they were really struggling. It lost 10 games before they made their run. Crowd reacts to the 13th turnover committed, and a rare one indeed committed by Holtzclaw.
Well, we've gone 3 minutes in the second half, and already 5 turnovers by the Lady Vols as they change their defense to a 2-3 track.
Ralph took an extra step on the jump stop. They're really watching that closely this year in both the men's and women's game.
Well, against the zone, you need to either make hard dribble penetration into the gap or reverse it and make the zone shift.
Numbers, Catchings for Randall. Ralph got her hand in there, but Samika was able to corral it. Catchings, great first step, and she draws the foul underneath.
All right, that's the player for Tennessee who's got to get more involved. She only had 6 points and 2 rebounds, Tamika Catchings, at the half. And Pat Summitt told me that she's kind of felt some pressure, Catchings.
Well, the heir to the throne, as we mentioned.
That is a lot of pressure, and she became a Kodak All-American. Not very many people. Ann Myers was a freshman Kodak All-American. Katie Smith, Holtzclaw, Cheryl Miller.
She's the daughter of Harvey Catchings, who played 11 years in the NBA with Chicago, Milwaukee, and Philadelphia. And her sister Taja plays at Illinois. You see Paige checking out after her third foul, Paige Sauer. And Taja stayed with her father, Harvey Catchings, while Tamika went with her mom back to the Dallas area in Duncanville, Texas, Duncanville High School.
One of the storied programs in women's high school basketball, and Wanda Catchings has done a great job being a basketball mom.
Abrosimova. That one's pulled out of there, and a quick lead pass that's a beauty to Randall. Oh, Catchings made a marvelous pass. They're unable to convert. Back on the deck, and the arrow will be to UConn.
Kirsten Walters showed so much hustle and tenacity. She forced Randall to go faster than she wanted to. Of course, Walters is the best defender on the team.
Shea Ralph wide open. That's her first field goal, 48-47. Tennessee, number 1, number 2 in women's basketball. Not quite 4 minutes gone by here in the second half.
Kelly Jolly keep the ball off the sideline.
Off the ball, a foul spotted.
Shea Ralph, 18 months of rehab. This is what she was working for to play in the big games like this.
Kirsten Walters picked up the foul, her third. You know, it's very rare when your team leader is a sixth man. They're coming off the bench, but that's what she is verbally. She's clearly the team leader. Svetlana Brozova, obviously a little more quiet in nature. You see Catchings knocking it down. Three-point hoop, and it's 51-47.
Well, Catchings that time against Tamika Williams. Catchings has nice long range.
Ralph does not get the shooter's touch. Pulled away by Catchings.
See, that's what's really changed the game of basketball. Tennessee had three players that could take you off the dribbles: Catchings, Randall, and Holtz-Claw. Now UConn has those players who can take you off the dribble.
Shamiqua Holtz-Claw is saying, you see there to her friends there, my bad, seems to be pressing a bit since she fell ill. Rare turnovers. Catchings, the heir to the throne, with a three.
Somewhere there's an empty chair at a seminar. The Civic sedan from Honda. What about now?
Having a bad day? Need some inspiration? Get tough! And order your copy of A Cinderella Season, the documentary that follows the Lady Balls and shows what it takes to become a champion.
We win it! We win it! Oh, yeah! I can't hardly talk. I am so mad.
Don't make Pat mad. 800-829-VOLS for your copy of A Cinderella Season. All sales benefit the University of Tennessee Scholarship Fund.
Chocolate milk? This isn't ordinary chocolate milk. It's rich chocolate Ovaltine. Compare the labels. It's got vitamins. Nestle Quick has none. When it comes to nutrition, Ovaltine beats Quick, hands down. For us, it's rich chocolate Ovaltine.
More Ovaltine, please!
Need fast itch relief? Did you know there's a cream that brings fast itch relief to irritating winter itch? A cream with 2 proven medicated itch fighters. From a leader in itch relief for nearly 100 years. It's Gold Bond, maximum strength Gold Bond medicated cream. Fast itch relief.
You heard about the High Endurance Deodorant Challenge from Old Spice? It's great at stopping odor. But what if you got to stop sweat? Well, High Endurance makes a powerful antiperspirant. A white solid that goes on clear. See? No white flakes. So you can stay dry without the white mess you get from some other antiperspirants. Guaranteed. Or call 1-800-PROVE-IT and Old Spice will buy you a stick of yours. So take the challenge. Because this is more than just an antiperspirant. This is the high endurance of antiperspirants. Rays in training for the ping pong grudge match of the year.
You know what would be louder? If you hit the ball directly against my head.
All new Raymond, CBS Monday.
In stores, Connecticut, Tennessee with a 4-point lead over the Huskies. The story of the game in the second half has been turnovers. Tennessee, 5 already with less than 5 minutes gone, Tim, in the second half. Although UConn forces 28 a game with their defense.
This is the time in the game when one would think the superior depth of UConn could really come into play here in the second half.
Well, they're two of the best conditioned teams in the country. And people think, okay, to play an up-tempo game, you just have to run. You have to be in condition to run.
Asia Jones, who was pressured by Snow, hurried the shot, could not get it to fall. Out of bounds, last touched by Tennessee.
The officials have done a nice job. Sally Bell, Art Bominger, and Dennis DeMaio have, with the physicalness of the game, it could have gotten out of control, but I think this group has done a nice job of letting the athletes do their thing.
Swin Cash has 12, and you're right, after that little tete-a-tete with Abrosimova and Samika Randall, it could have gotten out of hand. Randall, it's another layup. She has a dozen. 53-49. Kirsten Walters has been impressive today just in handling Tennessee's backcourt pressure. There's another easy one. A Mom Sunday best dish from Walters to Cash under the microscope today. Randall, that's a block. Would have counted had it fallen. Asia Jones unable to establish herself underneath the hoop.
Well, Swin Cash so quick on the offensive end. See right here, right off the dribble. Catchings, who's a very good defensive player, and Cash is able to finish. And right here, I say you start your team with the point guard who can handle and pass because they make everybody look better. And then you find yourself a post player.
Well, you see the meets, the 3 meets, 41 points, the rest of the team 12. Tamika has a number of interests. She loves the opera. Very verbal young lady, as we mentioned earlier, but very nearly came to UConn. And one of the reasons I think that was an explosion waiting to happen, the one between both she and Abrosimova.
She's such an emotional type player, and that's what Pat loves. Pat Summitt loves about having her on the team. But I look at young players and I think, all right, what are they doing in the offseason to get better? She was in Knoxville. She was working with Al Brown every day on her jump shot.
Offensive foul, and it's Randall that got in position to collect it. Player control foul off the ball against Shea Ralph, and that's important. That's her third. Remember, she left early with 2 fouls, and you take Shea Ralph away from the game for UConn, particularly in the stretch run. Gino Auriemma has reason to be concerned.
Well, it takes away an attitude, and you need Shea Ralph on the floor, and she'll play with 3, she'll play with 4. Until she gets 5, because that's just the type of competitor that she is. It's a great matchup right here. Jolly against Shea. 2 very, very smart players.
UConn had cut it to 2. They have not led since it was 9-8. Jolly for 3. Oh, look at that block out. I mean, that was elbow to elbow between Catchings and Tamika Williams.
Well, I think they were probably talking about, okay, so what did you get for National High School Player of the Year? You got more than me?
And Pat Summitt is saying, well, it's got to be a foul on somebody. And then finally, we do get a double foul.
Well, they were locking up, and they have been locking each other's arms up throughout the course of the game.
And that for Catchings, that's important. She can't stand. The reason you see the reaction, that's Tamika Catchings' 4th foul. So if it's going to be a double foul, it's advantage UConn.
Very much, and there's a lot of time on the clock. 14-11 left. All right, check out the post right here. That's Catchings and Williams. And as the shot goes up, they're locking each other's arms right there, and they just pull each other down. A little WWF going on.
And Pat sits her down. These are times when you're happy to have depth, as you mentioned earlier. She can come with Teresa Jeter, but remember, she was sidelined with a knee injury. A shot blocker who had 93, a school record, breaking a 12-year-old record a year ago. And that's Al Brown chatting with Tamika Catchings along the sidelines.
But it's just been recently the South Carolina game that Jeter came back from the scope on her knee. She might not be in condition to run the pace of the game.
Williams rejected it. Ralph finished it. Off a nice pass from Abrosimova. Abrosimova with a nice pass, but it all began with Williams' rejection. 55-53.
The UConn team has so much depth and versatility. 5 players in double figures in scoring.
Osklaw. Oh, what an answer. That's why you're an All-American, a candidate for 2-time Player of the Year. Dawn Staley, by the way, who is in attendance, was sitting next to Lisa Leslie, the only one to win Player of the Year in consecutive years. A turnover by UConn.
Watch this. Check out the beautiful block that starts the break right here. Kelly Jolly trying to draw the foul. Abrosimova with the beautiful lead pass. Shea Ralph getting out on the break.
Even with Shamika's problems today, and there she is with the ball again. 10 of 14 from the floor. A runner and an offensive foul. We've seen examples, though. A couple of unforced turnovers, and that's an uncharacteristic turnover committed by Shamika.
Well, that time Shamika Holtzclaw, Sauer is trying to force her out, but look where she's forcing her. This is where Shamika Holtzclaw has got to see this player stepping up. She has somebody open in the corner. You got to make the extra pass.
Tennessee's committed 15 turnovers to 8 for UConn this afternoon.
Tennessee staying in the 2-3 zone.
Abrosimova had an open 3 and turned it down. In the middle, nice work by Sauer on the offensive boards. It's been those putbacks that have been the key. Holzclaw picks up her 3rd foul.
You cannot allow Paige Sauer, as big and strong as she is, to just step in the lane there. You have to get a body on her and box her back and make her go over your back. Jeter was a little off balance when she got the rebound. And, you know, to me, that could be a little bit from timing because she hasn't played in a while.
Paige Sauer is a player that Gino Auriemma knew he needed to get involved early today. You see Abrosimova taking a seat, as does Holzclaw. See, each coach, when the star leaves, gives the other one an opportunity to take a rest simultaneously.
What an educational tool this game is for both teams. You're going to find out, can I do the same thing against the teams that we've scored 100 points against? That would be 8 teams that UConn has done that to. Can we do it against a team as good as Tennessee?
Jolly. Not there, out of bounds. Last touched by Hansmeyer. It will be controlled to Tennessee underneath their own hoop. This game, as advertised, the defenses at times make it appear as if it's a sloppy game, but in truth, the intensity level and the skill on the floor is enough to give you an 80 to 90 point game. I mean, this game's been dominated by defenses, and yet we're headed for a score in the 80s or 90s.
Well, both teams, not only have they been able to get the ball up and down the floor, even with the trapping defenses and the full court traps, you got to think about it. Both of these teams, to me, go to the line 29 times a game. And in the first half alone, Tennessee went to the foul line 5 times, UConn 4.
Yeah, UConn is now 7 of 8 getting to the line 4 times in this half. We're not quite way to the halfway mark. Ace Clement in the paint, drawing the foul as they slash to the basket.
Ace Clement, you're seeing right now, well, as we take a look at what UConn has done throughout the course of the season, I mean, being able to score 100 points at will. They have done that 8 times in 13 games.
Clement at the line after the foul by Hansmeyer.
When they recruited Ace Clement to come to Tennessee, they thought, okay, she'll probably back up Kelly Jolly, or maybe she'll be Kelly Jolly out for that spot. Kelly would have nothing of it. Now she's developed that she can play the 1 or the 2, so you're seeing them playing more together on the court.
Asia Jones on the floor along with Walters, Shea Ralph, Tamika Williams. And it's Asia Jones counted and a foul.
It's a bad matchup for Tennessee. Williams, see the pass right there by Asia Jones. She had Ace Clement posted up before the ball got to half court. Clement has to be able to realize where the play is going and get better position before the play happens.
She's on her way to a double-double. The freshman from Jersey making a tremendous impact, tying the game. First tie since it was 6-6. UConn has never led, and a foul by Ralph. That's her 4th. Shea Ralph picks up her 4th. Now we'll see just how intelligent she can play defensively with 4 fouls, and that's since coming off the bench 3 minutes deep into this game. Obviously, she'll have to sit for some time, as you see Abrosimova coming in for her, and we're in the bonus very early in the game with just under a dozen minutes remaining.
It's really a smart play by Gino Auriemma because you can't afford not to have Shea Ralph in your lineup at the end of the game. There's 12 minutes to go.
Well, this has truly been the inspirational leader of the Lady Vols today, Samika Randall. Outstanding, isn't it? Vols lead it by 2. CBS Sports coverage of NCAA basketball will continue after this message and a word from your local stations.
get the club? Accounting. Accounting gave you a club? Yeah, I made him a deal. Whenever my cell bills are half as much as yours, they give me a club. Aren't you on the phone all the time? Yeah, but I have Nextel. My calls are rounded to the second. I pay less. That's not fair. I want to be rounded to the second. Wait till I get my putter.
Nextel's 1 second rounding makes ordinary cell phones seem ordinary. And now, for a limited time, you can get Nextel phones starting at $99 each.
Thanks for making CBS America's most watched network. Welcome home.
Sale, Common Market. Every suit and every sport coat 50% off. Sale, Common Market. All other clothing 25 to 50% off. The Common Market, Kingston Pike and Bearden. Sale, Common Market.
Here's my idea. Show my wife the difference a big screen TV makes.
This is what it looks like on a 13-inch TV. They look like little ants. With a 35-inch TV, you're up close and personal. And with the 61-inch big screen, you're right in the action.
Coming after you,
Bigger is better at Best Buy. Now that's a great idea.
We look to our physicians, for they are able to see our bodies in ways that we cannot. When the heart becomes ill, procedures like angioplasty allow a microscopic balloon to navigate the body's arteries, removing harmful blockage and restoring the heart to a healthy state. At St. Mary's, we have always equipped ourselves with powerful tools of healing, but have never forgotten that the true gift of medicine lies not in the tools, but in the hands that use them.
Sale, Common Market. Every suit and every sport coat 50% off. Sale, Common Market. All other clothing 25 to 50% off. The Common Market, Kingston Pike and Bearden. Sale, Common Market.
Jane Joseph, tonight on WVLT Volunteer News.
And that one right there, Pat Summitt, 4-time National Coach of the Year. Let's eavesdrop during the half.
Well, you got to be on the outside shoulder. Samiko will help you. You can't play behind totally, no. Okay, you got to be out here, get help over here. If they flash into the high post, you guard help out.
At Summit, there was Shamika Holzclaw, her star player, on the bench, who was ill, fighting a head cold. Very concerned about her team answering the challenge of UConn once the game was tied. Shalon Pillow picks up the foul. And I think, obviously, her concern is that they continue to board well, because I'm sure she never imagined that UConn would have as many second chance points as they've had today.
Well, they've been able to do that because of their quickness. It's very difficult to box out Tamika Williams and Swin Cash because of their quickness around the basket.
Long rebound taken down by Randall.
Interesting lineup for Tennessee right now with Catching, Snow, and Holtzclaw on the bench.
Shamika Randall, you talk about ability to handle the ball, but also to rebound as a guard. She does an outstanding job. There she turned it over, taking an extra step. On the floor for the Huskies, Paige Sauer, joined by Kirsten Walters, Tamika Williams, Abrosimova, and Asia Jones flashing to the high post.
Pretty good when you can put Randall on the top of your 3-2 press. You could trap out of it with your wings, and she's so quick anticipating the pass back.
Oh, nice work by Abrosimova to find the wide open Kirsten Walters. First lead for the Huskies since it was 9-8 at the 17:50 mark of the first half.
Good things happen when you reverse the ball against the zone.
Now, how does Tennessee respond, trailing for the first time? This is a key sequence for the Lady Vols. Jolly. Nice work on the boards. The tree, Teresa Jeter gets position, and that's a big putback. 62-61, and Jeter's first basket.
Tree Jeter is a big-time player. She had that great game against North Carolina when Tennessee was down 12 with 7 minutes to go in the game in the regional finals.
Sauer missed an easy one. Tennessee playing without their star. It's clear Shamika Holtzclaw, though she has 20, not the same. Certainly needs to rest for the final 5 minutes of this game. Pillow turned it over, took an extra step.
Pillow trying to find the seam of the Yukon zone.
Swin Cash checking back in. And Tamika Williams sits down for the Huskies. Snow coming into the game for Tennessee. Shell, as they call her, enters the game, and Pillow sits down.
Well, it's a nice contrast in post for Tennessee because Pillow is better on the block than Snow. She's steady and she's strong, but Michelle Snow, she can run, she's got big hands, and she's got those long arms to change your shots.
Tennessee on pace to turn it over far more than the norm. Just as we mentioned that, a turnover by Swin Cash as she picks up the offensive foul. Player control foul, her first. Tennessee's turned it over 18 times today. They averaged 17.5 on the season per game.
Yeah, that is pretty much an offensive foul. Swin Cash really didn't need to do that. She just had to feel the pressure from Snow and pass out and reset herself.
And you see that story of turnovers we just touched on. UConn has doubled up Tennessee. And Tennessee's used to that stat going the other way. Jeter, a line drive that drew nothing but net. 64-61.
No, the line drive drew iron and went through the net.
Again, wide open Walters. This time off the back iron. Long rebound taken out of there by Cash. And Shea Ralph, a much-needed basket for UConn. She has 9, just 2 field goals on the afternoon. All in the second. Clement. You see Jeter working the boards, having position there against the younger Asia Jones.
This is the new look Tree Jeter without the goggles from a year ago. But second shot's right here. Well, nice head fake. You see how Krista Ace Clement gets off her feet, and then Shea Ralph with the open look for her shot. You know, that's such an easy fundamental move. Nothing fancy about it. Just the head fake, ball fake, and take the dribble away from the defense.
Tamika Williams comes in. Asia Jones sits down after picking up her third. Some of the health problems that Tennessee's had, it's forced players like Jeter to perhaps play more minutes than either Pat Summitt or the player themselves may have felt they'd need to play coming into today's game.
Well, last year they were able to get some big minutes from LaShonda Stevens. This year with chronic knee problems, she's not able to play.
Again, the quickness you touched on. Tamika Williams gets airborne and draws contact from Teresa Jeter, her second.
I think the way you have to try and play the UConn post, because they're so quick, is you have to make them shoot over you. You can't let them beat you off the dribble or going around you. You're not going to stop Williams or Swin Cash.
She missed one game this year, Tamika Williams, with a groin pull. She's the third UConn player, Nikisha Sales and Shea Ralph being the others, named National Player of the Year in high school. So recruiting is picking up here in Stores.
Well, it's picking up because it's just not an accident.
And the turnover off the pressure in the backcourt. Boy, this is a return to sender for Tennessee.
You cannot pick your dribble up against the pressure, the trap, and Kelly Jolly very good at not doing that. But the minute she picks her dribble, she's now on the defensive and she's losing the attack to get the ball up the floor.
When you look at the turnover story, Gino Auriemma probably can't believe that they've only led by one once in this game. Too strong by Walters. The long rebound taken down by Snow. Clement looking for numbers. Gives it up nicely to Jeter. She short-armed that one. Pulled down by Cash.
UConn playing more of their style of basketball since they came out of the locker room at halftime. Very aggressive.
Jolly gets into the passing lane. Gives it up to Shamika Holtzclaw. That's just textbook defense by Tennessee.
Holtzclaw is one of the best finishers I've ever seen for somebody who doesn't dunk like, most of the guys do.
22 in the game for Shamiqua. 67-65, Lady Vols. Abrosimova giving it up. Foul spotted underneath. Foul against Clement. Next Saturday at noon, it's wall-to-wall basketball here on CBS. Some of you will see Oklahoma against Cincinnati or Florida against number 14 Auburn. They're unbeaten. And then we go national. Big East battle between Syracuse and Georgetown. Then it's Indiana and Purdue. Bob Knight's Hoosiers getting ready to take on the intensity of Gene Katie and his Purdue Boilermakers. All of that next week here on CBS. The road to the Final Four underway.
Rasulova spent so much time working on her game. She went back to St. Petersburg, Russia, had a chance to scrimmage, play with the national team, although she is only 18, turned 18 July 9th. But then she had a chance to play with the Russian junior national team. I always say that when you get players to play internationally, they come back better, more confident players.
Well, she's truly the one breakdown player for Oriental. She can beat you off the dribble in a very big way. We are tied #1 at state.
Damn. EJ, $170 million. That's a record. Think it's going to change you?
Absolutely not. E.J. Tucker's never been about money. E.J. Tucker's never played for money, and money will not change E.J. Tucker, not one iota.
Say, is that a Bud Light?
Oh, yeah, it's last one. Oh, yeah? Well, what do you say I give you $1 million for it?
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Hey, how much I got left?
Dan Henry Hansen lives in Lusk, Wyoming.
When I grow up, I want to be a rancher.
He taught his dad how to use Microsoft Excel spreadsheets to manage cattle.
One thing my dad's taught me is not to be afraid to change.
Technology is helping the Hansens ensure that their ranch will still be here when Dan Henry is ready to inherit it.
I always heard that if you have the job you have fun doing, do that for life.
I think of myself as a supportive mom. Joey counts on me to be there for the whole game.
Win one for Mom, Joe!
Even when I have a sore throat.
Joey! Joey! Watching Peterson, I know your mother!
So I count on Chloroseptic. 5 sprays gives me fast, long-lasting relief, so I don't have to miss a second of the game.
We're going in overtime! Let's kick some Cougar butt!
Chloroseptic, 5 sprays for instant relief that stays. Yay, Chloroseptic.
The Accord Coupe from Honda. How will it affect you?
It is very rare when you see in our game summary the turnovers, 9 more by Tennessee than UConn. It's very rare when that happens to a Pat Summitt coach team.
Well, one of the things that Pat Summitt really believes in is her point guard, Kelly Jolly, because she has such a great assist-to-turnover ratio, usually 3 to 4 to 1. And when you have 10 turnovers in the second half against a great team like UConn, that turns those things into points, you're not going to be very successful.
Ace Clement is on the floor with Jeter, and here's another turnover. Make that 20. Walters forced it up there. She'd love to have that one back, and a quick timeout taken by Kristen Ace Clement after coming away with that rebound. Well, we talked about 1995 earlier. This is the 8th meeting between these two powerhouses, and the Heritage continued in 96. Nikisha Sales would hit this three-pointer from the top of the key. This is in the national semifinal to send it to overtime. Oh, what a reaction. But Shel Marciniak was the catalyst down the stretch in overtime, 88-83 in that semifinal game, and they beat Old Dominion in the championship to claim that national title. It turned out to be the first of 3 Lakeisha Sales, by the way, headed to professional basketball, of course. That may be her future once her playing days are done, following in the footsteps of my partner in more ways than one.
Well, I talked to Lakeisha before the game, and I asked her how her Achilles was doing. She said fine. She's been playing a lot of ball here with Rebecca Lobo, and I'm sure soon to be Carol Walters and Kim Rosati.
Amy Duran comes away with a turnover. And a poor pass that time. Bad judgment by Kirsten Walters.
Well, Gino was on the sideline just hooting and hollering because he knew how important that possession was.
Snow holds it high above her head. If you're going to try to knock it away from her when she has it that high, you know you're going to commit a foul. That's exactly what happened. Now let's check out the CBS Sportsline stat of the game. And you see it, 21-11 in turnovers. For complete college basketball coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com. Tennessee has to feel fortunate that they've maintained a lead for the majority of this game with that stat.
You're absolutely right. Anytime you have 21 turnovers to go, 7 minutes left in the game, UConn is going to turn up the intensity defensively even more so. I think if you would have guessed before the game, you would have swapped those turnovers and said, okay, the freshmen are probably going to turn it over a little bit from UConn.
Couple of big misses by Michelle Snow, the freshman from Pensacola there. UConn has led by a point twice in this game for a total of 58 seconds. There have been 5 ties. And don't count the basket. Foul prior to the shot by Snow. 2 outstanding blocks by Snow. But the second time up, she committed the personal.
But you see how high Swin Cash took Snow up the lane? That's why she was able to get the initial lob pass, and just her tenacity going right back at her is what gets her to the foul line. The next 4 years in college basketball is going to be big time because there's so many great young players, not just at Tennessee and at UConn, but all over the country.
Outstanding team, obviously, at Purdue. You see Jolly coming in, along with Catchings, replacing Ace Clement and Teresa Jeter. And then you see the free throw shooting story in this game likely to be won at the line.
Well, that's an area I'm sure Gino Auriemma addressed at halftime. Hey, ladies, we are not aggressive to the basket. We have got to get to the line if we're not going to make the shots.
Asia Jones, speaking of aggressive near the basket, she's been that today. She comes in. So UConn with their 3rd lead of the day. Each time it's been by 1 point. And each time Tennessee has answered with a bucket. And a foul right in front of Auriemma, and he can't believe Abrosimova committed that foul in the backcourt.
Well, he's a little upset with Abrosimova because he wanted her to move her feet, slide over, and cut Holtzclaw off. But she took a bad drop step angle, and that's where Holtzclaw, using her speed, got by her.
Holtzclaw wears the number 23, and the ever-present question is, does she want to be like Mike? The answer is no. She claimed that from the Psalm, the 23rd Psalm, with the verse beginning, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." So it has a religious origin, the number 23 for her, while the obvious comparison to Michael Jordan has always brought the question up.
Well, you give the credit to Grandma June because she's the one who gave all the discipline and put Shamiqua Holtzclaw in the right places and gave her, that good sense of faith.
Kirsten Walters is 2 of 13 from the floor. Just threw up an air ball, and Holtzclaw in the right place at the right time again.
So you've got a mismatch. You've got Walters on Holtzclaw. If I'm Tennessee, I just get out of the way and let her go.
Well, they decided to go pick and roll, and while it was well defended, there's June. She's very happy, all smiles. 70-68, 12 of 16 from the floor, 25 points for an ailing Shamiqua Holtzclaw. Well, that foul's against Snow. Again, this UConn team taking charge after charge, and that was a point of emphasis during a timeout for Pat Summitt when she talk to her team.
You look at a team like Tennessee and you say, how do they continue to play a schedule like this? Last year with a 39-0 record, everything fell into place for them because they played a lot of these teams. They played La Tech at home. They played UConn at home. This year, they play these teams on the road. They played at Purdue, at Stewart, at Louisiana Tech. Then you play Rutgers in New York on a neutral floor, Duke on a neutral court, and then they have to go to Old Dominion later on in the season.
Both of these conferences that are represented today, by the way, the Big East and the SEC, between them, 8 teams in the top 25, 4 from each league. Yet most would tell you if UConn could win this game and then beat Louisiana Tech in Ruston next week, they may be on their way to equaling Tennessee's unbeaten streak of a year ago. Catchings looking for a high pitch from Jolly. She hit the deck. Too strong. Catchings tried to keep it alive. Out of bounds to UConn. Amy Duran coming back in, replacing Kirsten Walters.
Well, it's been quite a while since Tamika Catchings has been on the floor, so if you're going up against her, she might be a little stiff. You want to attack the player coming off the bench as soon as you can.
Keep thinking at this time of the game that Abrosimova or Shea Ralph will take over. There's an example of it.
She got a great power game, Timmy. She could shoot the outside shot, but you're not going to stop her on her drive to the basket.
7th tie of the game between these two. Randall breaks the double team. Nice dish. Holtzclaw rushed it. Randall followed it. Each time UConn grabs a lead or ties it, Tennessee's always there with an answer. 18 for Samika Randall.
I think Abrosimova has to get more.
Duran hits the 3. And much like the rock group Duran, the building ready to explode.
Well, she's the senior co-captain on the team. She's the quiet leader, and all she does is compete.
Oh, Abrosimova will be whistled for the foul. And check that, it'll be Jolly. Or we may have an overrule. I think now they have changed it. It will be Abrosimova that picks up that foul.
Well, you saw Randall taking the defense to her on the drive, and the rotation left Holtzclaw open. Amy Duran coming into the game. That's the mark. You got to have a shooter's touch. You catch it, you shoot it, they are happy.
Foul was committed by Abrosimova, which is her 3rd. There was an overrule. At first glance, the official had said that, in fact, the foul was on Jolly. It was the reverse. (74-73) Tennessee.
Tennessee has gone back to man-to-man defense.
Tough pass to make, and then on the overplay, Holtzclaw whistled with her 4th foul. So Shea Rolfe has 4 for Connecticut. Holtzclaw now with 4 for Tennessee. So they will be under the microscope the rest of the way.
And it's tough for teams and players that like to be so physical.
Abrosimova is playing with 3 fouls. You know, she had some difficulty with the language barrier a year ago. That has since been taken care of, playing with much more confidence. It's just so hard to believe that the composure, I know she's played at the international level, she's barely 18, and yet when she plays on the international team, she's playing with 30-year-olds. You know all too well what that's like.
I think it's a good situation for her to learn from veteran players, and last year's experience, UConn loses to North Carolina State in the Elite 8, and she realized at the end of the year she was playing with a broken foot, Abrosimova.
Catchings. Tamika Catchings now with 13. Tennessee by 2. Under 4 minutes to play. Swin Cash. Oh, can she swing it? One of the quickest drop steps and crossover steps I've seen in the paint in some time.
Well, Husky fans for the next 4 years are going to be delighted by the energy of the Fem 5 because they are the real deal. You hear about freshmen and how good they are, and you wonder, can I take it to the next level?
Clement. Rainbow won't go. Out of bounds. It will be controlled to Tennessee. With 3:27 remaining and our game tied for the 7th time in the last 4 minutes.
Whoa, what kind of messed up place is this? Hey, what's in the jars?
Remove your shoe. Stand up. Oh!
Come on, right? Whoa. No, left.
This is amazing.
We gotta get close. Let's get out of the corner.
How long is this left?
Ugh. That's the problem.
How about these?
Those will work.
Stupid elves are sticky.
Jiffy Lube Signature Service. Our name is on the line. And we offer Penswell.
Having a bad day? Need some inspiration? Get tough! And order your copy of A Cinderella Season, the documentary that follows the Lady Balls and shows what it takes to become a champion.
We winning. We winning. Oh, yeah. I can't hardly talk. I am so mad.
Don't make Pat mad. 800-829-BOLS for your copy of A Cinderella Season. All sales benefit the University of Tennessee Scholarship Fund.
Now you can watch all the games of the first 3 rounds in their entirety as DirecTV supplements CBS's coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship.
Our game reset, no fouls to give. We are tied. The possession arrow to UConn. Couple of full timeouts, no 20s. Tim Brando, along with Nancy Lieberman-Klein, it's been everything we expected, although we've been surprised by some aspects of this game. But when these two get together, it's no surprise that they're tied late.
No, well, they know each other so well. They know it's a big-time atmosphere. There's really no pressure on either team. They just have to play their game. Foul trouble, it's the obvious. You have to play good, solid defense, but not make the silly foul.
Jeter using the glass. Very quick scoop to the hoop by the tree. Teresa Jeter.
Tree Jeter comes up with so many big baskets for Tennessee, and you don't look at her on this team as a big scorer.
Largest lead of this game was 7 for Tennessee. UConn has led 3 times in the second half. And they turned it over there. Shea Ralph lost it out of bounds. Asia Jones comes in for Paige Sauer.
That gives UConn a quicker, more aggressive team. Paige Sauer is more of the power game, and she can give you the outside shot.
Teresa Jeter, a real catalyst in the second half for Tennessee, particularly with Holtzclaw ailing through much of this game. She's been more of a go-to player down low. 7 points, all big points late in this game. Oh, and Patchings cans 1, rattling it home for 3. She has 16, and it's 81-76, 5 unanswered for the Lady Vols.
Well, the Lady Vols have Holtzclaw on the bench. You would think with 2:32, she would be in the game pretty soon.
The lead is 5 for number 2, but trying harder.
The Civic from Honda. What about now?
Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when
I like this kid.
Let's give her a shot.
Shrimp, plump and cayenne spiced. Now appearing with Applebee's tender Bourbon Street steak that's Cajun rubbed to seal in the juices. All on a hot iron skillet with rice and sauteed mushrooms. It's a lot of spice for the price. So don't miss it. Come in today.
The kids definitely got it.
Definitely.
We're finally winning. Today, more people are quitting smoking than ever. And a lot of them are doing it with Nicoderm CQ. CQ's got the 3 steps, the gradual step-down method doctors prefer to help get you free. So how many have quit with Nicoderm CQ? Why, we'd have to build the biggest stadium in America just to hold them all. Remember now, New Year's Day, quit with Nicoderm CQ. We're saving a seat for you.
Shannon Lee, the daughter of Bruce Lee, guest stars with Sammo Hung. Together, they're going to cut crime down to size on Martial Law, CBS Saturday.
This CBS Sports Women's Basketball Classic is presented by American Honda. A winning lineup of cars, sport utility vehicles, and minivans.
Number 2, Tennessee, with an 81-76 lead over the number 1 UConn Huskies. Tonight on CBS, he's got to be the world's most dishonest television reporter. At least he was until he got caught and went to jail. Meet him tonight on 60 Minutes. Then, can an angel pitch an uplifting show to a cynical network television executive? Tonight on Touched by an Angel, followed by the People's Choice Awards, an all-star celebration hosted by Ray Romano tonight on CBS. Very big possession for UConn.
Well, they have to get a basket out of this possession, work the defense, work the zone a little bit, and take a good shot.
Brosimova drives and uses the glass. Tough shot. She turned down the 3, and then the quick foul ensued as Jeter brought it down. Brosimova picks up her 4th. And you see the home court streak at 54. That's what's at stake today for UConn at home, the all-time record belonging to Tennessee. They're trying to return the favor when UConn ended that at 69.
I'm sure that was part of the motivation that Pat Summitt in the locker room said, hey, ladies, they came in our building. They beat us. They stopped our streak. A little bit of, we'll get you back to your place.
UConn, if this score holds up and Tennessee wins it, they will look back on missed opportunities. Sometimes you work so hard defensively, as Gino Oriama's team did today against Pat Summitt's, and then you forget to play offense and you rush it, and I think that's happened to them today.
Absolutely, but the difference for Tennessee, as we talked about, they've got the 3 players who can take you off the dribble. UConn's got a lot of balance, but you got to give them the ball in the right place.
Kirsten Walters operating at the point. Ralph is with her. There's Asia Jones at the top. Too strong. Brosimova can't reel it in. And a quick timeout. 1:56 remaining after the full timeout. Volunteers lead, equaling its largest.
My son wouldn't drink his milk, so I worried about his nutrition. But then I tried Ovaltine, and now he loves his milk. Ovaltine tastes great and adds vitamins. Nestle Quick adds none. So milk not only tastes better, it's better for you.
Ovaltine makes milk even better. Need fast itch relief? Did you know there's a cream that brings fast itch relief to irritating winter itch? A cream with 2 proven medicated itch fighters. From a leader in itch relief for nearly 100 years. It's Gold Bond, maximum strength Gold Bond medicated cream. Fast itch relief.
Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh,
I like this kid.
Let's give her a shot.
Shrimp, plump and cayenne spiced. Now appearing with Applebee's tender Bourbon Street steak that's Cajun rubbed to seal in the juices. All on a hot iron skillet with rice and sauteed mushrooms. It's a lot of spice for the price. So don't miss it. Come in today.
The kids definitely got it.
Definitely.
All across America, you're there to see us through. Just around the corner, a neighborhood Jiffy Lube.
You depend on your car, so trust it to Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube makes it easy. Every 3,000 miles.
3,000 miles, you make us smile.
Drive in, drive out, drive on.
Same day, 2 coughs, your choice. Robitussin DM or Vicks 44. Both the same, right? How about 4 hours later and later than that? Time will tell you Vicks 44 is different. With Robitussin DM, you should redose every 4 hours, while soothing Vicks 44 lasts up to 4 hours more. And with your 8-hour day, that's a real plus. Get up to 4 hours more with Vicks 44.
Pat Summitt, well aware that the pressure's coming. You always look for that long ball with the baseball pass against pressure.
Well, you have to at least stretch the defense, let them think you might throw it long, but then they'll have either catchings coming back to the ball, and I would send, as she is Holtzclaw, to the ball, put it in her hands, because she is a good foul shooter, and she's got a good handle.
See, the Huskies certainly have not given up. Some of the better defenders on the floor, but remember, Shea Ralph is playing with 4 fouls. And they need her desperately on the floor. Could not get the baseball pass. There's the pressure. Ralph could not commit the foul against that pass. Abrasimova did. She has 5. Count it. And a foul. Well, it took a while to break it, but once they did, I think they may have thrown in the exclamation point.
Well, for UConn, they probably should have fouled early because they knew it took so long. And then when Randall got one-on-one, she is so good at putting the ball out in front of her, extending, and having the defense come through her back.
Shea Ralph, when she went for that loose ball, though, recognized that she had 4. She really couldn't defend Jolly on that pass the way she would have liked.
Well, she would have certainly been a lot more tenacious going after the ball, but you're right, she then decided to play more containment.
The early foul difficulty to Ralph perhaps played a bigger role in that man's rotation early in the game. And remember, they were held to 36, lowest output so far this year, averaging over 100 per game. Here's the crowd ovation for Abrasimova. Only 11 points. Boy, they carved her average almost in half, making it most difficult on her, averaging just under 18 a game. Randall knocks down a key free throw, 86-76, 21 in the game for her.
If you're Tennessee, you don't want to foul. You want to play containment out of your zone and force the outside shot, but don't give a look for the 3.
Duran, not since the 4:35 mark. They've gone over 3 minutes, UConn, without making a basket of any kind. Game was tied at 76, and the Lady Vols have pitched a shutout since.
Got plenty of time if you're Tennessee. Just set the ball out. Make UConn come after you.
It's pretty obvious in this sequence that Oriana has thrown up the white flag. Not coming out to foul. 88-76. And again, Swin Cash, who's played well today. Look at that run. In the last 2.5. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to be exact. 12-0 this run.
And it's really been the Meeks who have dominated the game for Tennessee. They have just had a tremendous Holtzclaw gets 25. Randall has 21. Catchings has 18. That's what they're supposed to do. They came with the goods.
And in certainly Holtzclaw's case, not playing at 100% and making some uncharacteristic turnovers that were unforced. A learning process, the learning curve for Abrasimova, a younger star, and for this UConn team, although it's #1 and unbeaten coming in, it's a very, very young basketball team.
Well, this is a great learning experience, as you said. This is January. Just think how good UConn is going to be in March when they're in a situation like this.
And this win for Tennessee would even the series between the two teams at 4. Tennessee actually trailed in this series 3-4 in the 7 games played.
Well, they lost the first 3 games, and that is something Pat Summitt doesn't like to do. Matter of fact, one of her assistants even came and watched Gino Uriema's practice on how he ran the triangle offense.
Randall has 23. Finally, Kirsten Walters ends that drought that lasted almost 4 minutes. 3 minutes and 56 seconds or more since that basket for Connecticut. And Randall continues to add to her tote board. 25 for her, equaling Shamiqua Holzclaw. Well, partner, I think we've seen the elite programs, and this Tennessee team is still #1 and with a bullet.
Well, Tennessee is #1. Whatever happened in the Purdue game, they have straightened out their offense. They've gotten their defensive intensity back, and they are the team to beat in this season.
A disappointed crowd, but certainly women's college basketball is in great shape, in large part because of these two storied programs anchored by Pat Summitt and Gino Auriemma. It's a final. #2, Tennessee wins 92-81. So for Nancy Lieberman-Klein, this is Tim Brando saying so long from Gamble Pavilion. Our final score, the Lady Vols, 92 over the #1 Huskies, 81. For Nancy and for our entire crew, Tim Brando again saying so long. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports.
He's got to be the world's most dishonest TV reporter. At least he was until he got caught and went to jail. Meet him tonight on 60 Minutes.
The address is CBS. Welcome home.
Need fast itch relief? Did you know there's a cream?
Managing Director of Aldgate Textiles here in Yorkshire, England. As England